Yo, what is going on, you guys? It is Carter from CBH Sports, and welcome back to another Bracketology video. This will be the final Bracketology video during the regular season. Next week, we move into conference tournaments, so I'm very excited. Um, the number one seed line, we got Duke, Michigan, Arizona, and UConn. The only things I'll note here: Duke, they look to avenge their loss to North Carolina on Saturday night. Big news out of Chapel Hill. I'm not even gonna wait till I get to the Tar Heels to talk about it. Star freshman forward for the Tar Heels is Caleb Wilson, who had returned from a different injury and might have returned to face the Blue Devils on Saturday. And then non-contact injury, he broke his thumb, so he will not play the rest of the year. I think Duke takes care of business. Um, and Michigan, the number two overall seed, as we know, Duke beat Michigan a few weeks ago in Washington, D.C. The Spartans have played great basketball of late. I don't know if they're good enough to beat Michigan. They're able to win on the road in Ann Arbor on Sunday. They and then again beat a group of Illinois, Nebraska. They could also move up to that one seed line. Uh, One sec, guys. I'm texting. Um, and then we have Arizona. I think a Michigan loss to Michigan State wouldn't hurt them at all. But and Arizona's playing a Colorado team that's not in the top two quadrants, so they can't move up. But the way that Arizona has played of late, they crushed Iowa State on Big Monday. So big news, big moves for the Wildcats. Those are kind of the one seeds that are set. Now we move to the next tier. UConn is the final number one seed. If the Huskies lose to Marquette or at any point during the Big East tournament and Florida takes care of the SEC tournament championship after winning the regular season title with a win over Mississippi State on Tuesday. They will be the number one. They will be the final number one seed. The Gators were the third overall one seed a year ago on their way to a national championship. Can they become the first team to win back-to-back national championships two twice in their history? Next up is Houston, Michigan State, and Illinois. That finalizes the two seed line. Illinois and Houston can't take losses to Maryland and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's a bubble team, and Maryland is a team nowhere near the field. So, the three seed line, Iowa State has fallen since being a top seed during the bracketology preview. According to the committee, they've fallen a little bit. They face Arizona State at home on Saturday. Um, Purdue, huge game with Wisconsin on Saturday afternoon. They're number 10 overall. Nebraska is number 11 overall. Um, and those three teams, depending on what they do this weekend and next week during conference tournaments, will determine their fate. Texas Tech Gonzaga is my final three seed. Lost to St. Mary's to end the regular season. They do not play again until this Tuesday night. Um, at the West Coast Conference Tournament semifinals, their final run in the West Coast on March 9th begins. Texas Tech took loss to in-state rival TCU. They're the top four seed. They could bounce back quickly with a quad one win over BYU on the road. Alabama, after being my last four seed for a long time, they're up to my number two four seed. They have some quality wins. They look to sweep Auburn on Saturday. Kansas down to the back of the fourth line to 15 overall. Their resume really helps them out. They are only 21-9 and 11-6 in Big 12 play. They will likely dominate Kansas State at home in Darren Peterson's final game in Lawrence before he is likely taken with one of the first two picks of the NBA draft. The final four seed is Virginia. They took a loss to Virginia Tech back in either late December or early January. They look to avenge their loss a few months ago. That's those are all the protected seeds. Moving on to the 5 line, Arkansas will not move uh, from this line with a loss to Missouri. There are rumors that Darius Acuff will not play tomorrow as he continues to nurse a, an ankle or foot injury. They go to Missouri after they absolutely killed uh, Texas on Wednesday night. Missouri off of a blowout loss to Oklahoma. It's an important game for the Tigers to win because if they win in Tennessee loses, they will be the number 4 seed in the SEC tournament and get a double bye, and the Ball and Jews will not. Up next is Tennessee. They beat South Carolina on Tuesday night. They will look to sweep Vanderbilt with a home win on Saturday afternoon. Vanderbilt is next up. A loss to Tennessee doesn't do much. Like at this point, Vanderbilt is what they are. North Carolina, like I mentioned, with the Wilson injury, it's a heartbreak, but they have been playing some great basketball. They've taken one loss since Wilson originally got hurt, so nothing bad there. A loss to Duke is probably expected, but they won't hurt their seeding too much if they don't get blown out. St. John's, they're one of two teams in my top 9 seeds that are playing tonight. They're at Seton Hall. Seton Hall is a bubble team, so they will want to win that game for on senior night for their uh, uh, home fans. And St. John's only won in midweek action by 3, so much better game probably coming for the Johnnies. Louisville, uh, they have really struggled. I don't honestly think they're going to be a 6 seed, but it's where everybody else has them. They're 0-8 in quad one A games, and they have a chance to get their first one on the road at Miami. The Wisconsin, they play at Purdue, like I mentioned. Miami, all the way up to a 6 seed. Like I said, they face Louisville. That's a huge game in the ACC. Can Kentucky's at the top of my 7. Um, After losing to Texas A&M, they can fall to the 8 line with a blowout win from the Gators. Um, and BYU, they've struggled too. If they can even beat Texas Tech with all the injuries that the Cougars have, that would be impressive. BYU, like I said, Villanova, they wrap up the season on Saturday versus Xavier. They're gonna kind of be the set in the 7, 8, or 9 range, no matter what happens. St. Mary's, they finish out the 7 line after they beat Gonzaga to share the West Coast championship. Um, this is a um, this is a huge week for them. They're able to win the West Coast tournament. They'll play first on Tuesday. Good things will come for the Gales, who without Gonzaga next year, they will be the best team in that league, and they should be it about every year. Georgia's is back in my top 8. Um, they're 21-9, 9-8 in the SEC. They should take care of Mississippi State on the road. St. Louis cannot lose to George Mason if they want to stay a protected seed, or not a top 8 seed. Clemson should take care of Georgia Tech. Utah State took a loss in the midweek. They will need to bounce back against a bubble team, New Mexico. And my 9 line is Iowa UCF, who faces West Virginia tonight. UCLA and NC State. Right, guys, that's it for this week's Bracketology. Kind of wanted to do a fast one today just to wrap things up. There may be 2 Bracketology videos next week because it's conference tournament time. There may only be 1. We'll see. Thank you all for watching. It's been Carter from CBH Sports, and I'm signing out. Peace.